Ooh, dramatic lighting. What's up, guys? It's Dave from UltraMegaDeath3.com. Just to give a fair warning here about the video you're going to watch. The quality is not going to be quite up to the standards that I like to keep personally for my videos, mainly because Ben, the person who I was interviewing, was using an iPad that was propped up on a bucket when we were doing the Skype calls. So you can imagine just like the quality is not going to be quite up there, especially when you have like the audio kind of bouncing back, and I have like cats that are like meowing. He has cats on his end, and yeah, it was hell to edit this, but I really hope you guys enjoyed. It was a great interview, just the interview itself, like the actual content. Some great questions asked. I got some great responses from him. Anyone who is like a long time YouTube fan, may remember Boheme as being one of the top YouTube guys back in the day. So, with that said, enjoy. Say that again? Not at all. Welcome to the future, Boheme. I think we can get started here. I have my list of questions here, so I'm all prepared.
At least one of us is.
Thanks again, for doing this interview with me, Boheme. I really appreciate it. Do you prefer if I just call you Boheme or Ben or?
Call me Ben, because the Boheme thing, it sounds a little weird. So, yeah, Ben works.
Gotcha. Okay. So Ben, my first question here for you is, why did you choose the name Boheme?
Well, okay, back when I was starting to get onto DeviantArt, years and years ago, it was just out of high school, I was really nuts about, what was it, Montmartre? The artist culture, like with um, Henri Toulouse-Lautrec. I am just butchering pronunciation today. Henri Toulouse-Lautrec Montmartre. Anyway, it was that whole era with absinthe and depravity and just the whole Moulin Rouge thing. And my original screen name on there, and I still have the account just because I think it's the oldest active account I have, is Boheme Absinthe. So it was this fucking long thing. It was all letters. Because I didn't want to do numbers and shit back then, and have like something plus 1985 or something,
Right.
I didn't want to do that, it's conscious. So that was really just kind of a shortened version of it, because Boheme with just letters was kind of taken in general. So I just adopted that as just a shorthand version of it. And that's sort of become my handle just about everywhere. But these days, not so much. But I mean, kind of in the heyday of when I was doing the most activity on YouTube, fucking people would go to different sites like Twitter and just steal the name and just be like, ha ha ha. So then I had boh3m3 just because I was lazy, and I was like, all right, well, next one down the line.
You once said, after becoming one of the first YouTube partners, that, quote, video blogging might become some kind of career. What made you later retract this statement?
Well, I'm not certain that I may have to do a retraction for my retraction, because for obviously a lot of people like Philip DeFranco and Corey Williams, S&P Films, and of course Ryan Higa and what was it, David Wong? No, wait, I'm thinking about the author from Cracked. That guy's awesome, by the way. Just name dropping all over the place. But anyway, these people are making really great, livable money, if not excellent money for what they're doing. But for me, I think what I meant to put across when I was talking about taking that statement back was that for me personally, I can't see it as a sustainable career, because I personally like to vary things up and experiment, and I'm a serial hobbyist. I study random things that catch my fancy and just go full bore into it and explore, all that space, So it's not something that anybody can pick up. It's not like you can go to school and get a degree in video bloggery and just being a douchebag to fans, It's not something that you can really learn. If you're going to try and produce any kind of series, you have to have getting it done. You have to just have that persistence to finish your projects and have ideas that you can either serialize and kind of revisit them and keep going, or you have to be so fucking gorgeous and charming that no matter what you do, somebody's going to pay attention. And thankfully, I have none of those qualities. I'm just a smart ass with a camera.
I remember hearing about how like your first YouTube video was like basically like a submission for Jackass, basically for MTV Jackass, and then like eventually you started like focusing on music videos as well. Like there was like a time like when you were like really full bore into music videos. Is that right? Or I'm trying to remember.
A little bit. Well, I got into the YouTube thing because of Steve-O from Jackass. He was actually trying to do his own standalone show at the time, and I'm actually really grateful that I didn't take part in that, because at that point in his life, that guy was going through some serious shit. But it may have even been the Dr. Steve-O show, which I've seen at least the cover of on like Amazon or somewhere. I was auditioning for that, so I did the juggling and fire breathing and stuff like that, and I just went show. That's all that was. But there was many music video moments. There was a great guy by the name of Bill. I don't know if he wants me to put out his full name or whatever. The info's out there. That is not just my work at all. I was really just kind of piggybacking with him, like, okay, well, here's what I would do. Is that okay? There's kind of apprenticeship and just deferring all the stuff to him, and it was a fun experience, but that's a very difficult thing to kind of master, I imagine, just because you have a story that you're trying to get across in the span of 2 or 3 minutes, or the imagery to go along with the song and stuff like that. It's difficult to take something as ephemeral as music lyrics and make a complimentary video to it. So while it was fun, I don't want that kind of headache, and it was an interesting moment. I had a great time, and I learned a lot from it.
Yeah, like my cat, like I can actually hear like the feedback when my cat like meows, like even when he's like across the room, like I hear like little meow like over there, and then all of a sudden it comes out sharply from your end. Meow.
Nice. That's great. That's just keeping you on your toes for the interview. That's
absolutely.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Fucking A.
Your headphones. I'm just gonna be watching for visual tics to see you go like. Time.
No, kitty!
Kitty! South Park is now old. If South Park was a kid, it would be in middle school, I think, right?
It would probably be in high school at this point, actually.
And it would have a really bad issue.
What are your thoughts on how YouTube has evolved over the years since you started in 2006?
Well, it went through a lot of phases. At first, it was... when I joined up, it was like old school MTV. It was almost anything. Well, actually, it was anything goes. A lot of people have forgotten that the reason YouTube got as much attention as it did was because of the Family Guy and pirated shows and movies and stuff like that. And then video bloggers came along, and whether you count that as a benefit or a symptom, it's your business. But that was the start of that whole video blogging age, I guess you could say, where it was just people talking and everyone was watching boobs that had a head attached to them, or cute animals. It was the most primordial form of internet media, I want to say. You could kind of see it develop from the cute cat videos, some music videos, and then the advent of the viral video. And what I think happened with videos going viral and everyone just going nuts for that term and it becoming a buzzword, which is weird to see so many buzzwords developed in our time, not to mention, being a part of that, process. Once that started, I think that's when, the evil beast of selloutism started to rear its ugly head, because everyone wanted to harness this mighty power. They were like, okay, well, now we know how to get everybody's eyeballs, we just got to make them laugh at us, I guess. Just hit me in the nuts. Let's see if it works. And for me personally, I really lost perspective of, who I was and my relationship to other people and just my place in the world. I'm not going to say that I was like mad with power, but I was definitely confused at that point, because I was in my early 20s, and shit, I had been waiting tables, and to have this fall into my lap, it was too much too soon. It was there's a phrase that I'm going to mangle horribly, but it was mastery without practice is a dangerous thing. Something along that lines, but you have to earn and develop and understand things properly before you get the rewards for it. Otherwise, you don't appreciate the rewards as much, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to.
The success coming too soon, basically, yeah.
Maybe, yeah, that could be it. When that started to really kick off, people became obsessed with it. You know, they drank it Kool-Aid, man. I would hang out with YouTubers and be bored to tears because all they wanted to do was talk about YouTube. It's irritating.
Yeah.
One aspect of your life, just one little inch of your life, be the entire focus of hanging out with people like that. And I understand it's exciting, but it's like the one-hit wonder principle. You know, Milli Vanilli was probably fucking bored to death with people talking about, you know, Rain on the Rain and all that kind of shit.
With the Milli Vanilli of YouTube, basically.
I'm only a Vanilli, but that's where I'm at, and I'm worried about how overproduced everything is. It doesn't feel real anymore. I'm afraid that every video I'm seeing is so scripted that it's really it's the same timeline as MTV, except it's on the internet with real people. So.
Yeah. Do you feel like it kind of like, I guess, like just became, I don't know, well, I guess it's kind of like a natural progression of anything that becomes like popular, really. You know, just capitalism kind of like takes over, and then like, you know, you have like the big companies coming in because they see the, you know, the growth and potential in that financially. And, you know, the people who were like there, like in the forefront, like you and, you know, and you know, and everyone else who, you know, who were doing videos and were popular at that time, or even now, basically become kind of like faces of like a bigger entity that, you know, people like you kind of like, you know, go like, oh, fight the power, but at the same time, I gotta eat, you know. So.
No, and that's a very odd conversation to have with yourself when you're really strapped for money and you're like, God, I really don't want to ask for money or find some way of squeezing money out of this, but I have to do this, and I feel like I've put enough time in that I want to reap the rewards of that. And that's a double-edged sword, because, you know, nowadays it's regular. It's normal procedure, but, man, they came at me with knives out when things were going that way before. Not really.
The next question I have here is one of your most popular videos that I personally remember very well was your mock war against Vegemite. Against Vegemite. What do you think about the reaction that this got from Australian viewers in particular, as well as from like the news show Current Affair?
I think it was absolutely phenomenal, and it goes to show that they have an excellent sense of humor, and also that it was a very slow news day. And, you know, that's a good thing, because if you're not reporting on car accidents or, you know, baby bonfires, then that's a good day, right? So I'm more than happy to make an ass of myself in Australia so that, you know, people can get a laugh out of it and maybe get a little nationalism rallied around an absolutely disgusting product. You know what's funny is that people still, to this day, as if it was posted yesterday, are bitching about the way that I pronounce Vegemite.
Vegemite, or Vegemite.
And just getting up in arms. I still check it to get a laugh, because it's like maybe once every couple of days or maybe a week or something will go by, but someone will be just absolutely outraged and be like, man, you fucking suck, you're terrible at this is not what Australia's about. Just love it.
It's like a time capsule that keeps evolving in itself.
The entire purpose of that video was to make Caitlin, the Hill 88, laugh. That was it. I was flirting with her at the time. We were talking about getting, you know, together, kind of, you know, just visiting at that point. And I was like, you know, she's awesome girl. She's very, very cute. I got to try and make her laugh. And I ended up pissing off the entire crowd.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. And nobody believes me. I work with a bunch of people at my restaurant, and I've lately kind of kept my reputation on YouTube and stuff like that to myself. Just because over time it starts to sound a bit like bragging, where you're like, hey, I was on YouTube and I did all this and blah, blah, blah. But inevitably somebody finds out, because there's always that inquisitive Googler in the group. And I had somebody who actually now works for Wikipedia. I'm not going to say his name just in case, but he found out first, of course. And of course, the word started circulating around. And I remember the time that I found out that everyone in the restaurant knew about it was one of the host stand girls that, I mean, they were like, she's like 17, 18 years old, came up to me and went, did you really piss off Australia?
I'm that guy.
And I was like, oh yes, I did.
It's a good line like to approach for like a girl at like a bar. It's just like, hey, by the way, did you know I pissed off Australia once?
Well, here it's easy. You just have to go, hey, I haven't got a baby yet and I'm 28.
Winning.
The Vatican assassin, what you got? Yeah. I was wondering if the cats would like knock over my bucket assembly right here, but I've got the laziest freaking cats in this house. They're not mine, they're my roommates. Just 3 cats. And hold on, let me see. I'm gonna do a little tour here.
Oh boy.
Let's see. We've got. Can you see Weezer, the giant black mass of evil Garfield? Just on my table, and then down here at my feet is Cotton Eye Joe, who has a lazy eye.
Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, totally. Let's see if I can get him to look into the camera. Cotton, look, it's David Giltman. Nah, you can't see it so well.
I don't care about you.
Slightly off to the side. That's like hilarious.
Yeah.
He looks so sincere. He's just.
Could be the next grumpy cat.
I doubt it. There's no replacing tartar sauce.
So I had some GameCube controllers there too.
Yes, that's a damn Greek tragedy, actually. Okay, so here comes some ramble for you. When I was living in California, my buddy Zach, we used to play Mario Kart Double Dash every day. And I mean, like, if I was done with work or whatever, we'd sit down and just Rainbow Road, let's go. And that's how we actually solve arguments sometimes, is in a battle. We'd be like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. Taking down your balloons, man. That and Smash Brothers. I picked it up, brought it all the way home, and I bought 2 controllers, the GameCube, Smash Brothers, and Double Dash. The Mario Kart didn't fly. So I took it, returned it, played fine in the store for a minute. I didn't play a level, but that was fine. Took it home, started a level, and it crashed. Just stopped. There was a line like probably about that much through the disc, and I've been so frustrated I haven't even gone back out there. So I basically paid probably like $30 for Mario Kart Double Dash. It's something that I like to have because it's, let's face it, Nintendo stuff, especially the old school style with like GameCube and original Nintendo and even Super Nintendo, those things are built to withstand an apocalypse.
Yeah,
so,
like tanks.
Oh yeah, and it goes well with my secondhand telly, so it all works out well. But it's a great card game. The
next question I have here for you is, you made a very, I stress very, short-lived popular show called Haberdashery. If you remember that. What was your inspiration for this, and why did you stop after only 2 episodes? It's basically like what I was talking about earlier with the serial hobbyist thing. I picked it up, I played with it, it did what I thought it was going to do, and I was happy with it, and then I just put it away and, went on going. I've entertained the thought of making more before, but the problem is I almost don't want to make it into a serial to where people get their expectations and hopes up for another one. There's a lot of pressure with that, and anybody who's been a subscriber for longer than a year or 2 knows that I am incredibly sporadic about my videos, and it's only lately that I've ramped up a little bit with stuff like the uncut video I posted a day or 2 ago, and the Once More Under the Breach and stuff like that. And it's really because of the availability I have now with this camera, on the tablet and on my phone. Like, everything's got a fucking camera. I'm afraid my toilet's got a camera. It's easier to just put something up really quick, get it done, and then it's over. Instead of recording something for 20 minutes, chopping it down over the course of an hour or 2, re-reviewing it, re-chopping it, adding an intro and a Taylor, working on the audio and equalizing all of that, and it's a big headache. So having something with that high production value is sort of against my completionist mindset right now. I want to get stuff done and then be done with it. So videos are like that too, where
I really just want to have my thoughts out, make a nice, concise video, less than 5 minutes if I can, just to where I can start a discussion, you know, and really kind of, you know, talk with the subscribers a little bit and get back to the roots. You know, to a certain extent. I picked up a... Yeah, there it is. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
It had to happen eventually. he was like right there.
Yep.
I'm like, what the fuck do you want? I know you're hungry, but it's not your time yet.
It's nice to have time to relax and just, you know, bullshit like this. And it's good. But, yeah, I think that coming way back around, specifically with haberdashery, I think it was the Firefly concept where, you know, after that season, you want more. You want more. And that is encouraging, you know, if you want to be a content creator like that and to get locked into a concept that you really are in love with. You know, I was wary of running out of material because it would just have to get weirder and weirder, which could be something to explore later. But at that point, it just wasn't feasible.
I was thinking that you were spoofing the old Guinness ads. You know, like, it's brilliant. You know, those ones.
That was part of the inspiration for at least the mouth movement. At that point, what spurred the original idea, which wasn't much different than haberdashery as it got pushed. Why don't I make this into something weird? Let's see what I can do. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to want to animate legs. Oh, I could turn a wheel, you know, like that's easy. So that's where the whole, you know, Loveless from Wild Wild West concept worked in. And then I didn't want to have to detach the arms from the portrait, so that's why the weird robotic arm came in. What else? And that was actually a lot of fun because there are little gears underneath the chairs that I had fun setting a cycle animation on to where they turn at different things. You know, I don't know how well it looks as a viewer, but I really enjoyed doing that.
Like, it still holds up. Like, it still looks good and everything. I mean, you know, it's just like so different from like your usual stuff with like the blogs and everything, and like, you know, just to kind of like see that where it's just like full on creativity off the wall kind of stuff, like with no real, I guess, filter, you know, in that way. You know, like it's great. Like, you know, it's just I feel like it was a good showing of like your creative muscle in that sense.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I like to think of myself as a pretty creative person. It would be more interesting for me as you know, as someone who created haberdashery to see someone take that style and make it their own. Because if I could get into it, the program I was using at the time, a friend of mine learned the Anime Studio 5, I think that's what it was then. And it was very basic. It was obviously geared towards anime style cartoons around there. So it's not an insult when I say this. It's a pretty simplistic style with a skeleton setup that you could put the images on and manipulate the images to get them. So it would be really refreshing, actually, to see someone take that base concept and run with it. Anyway, I gotta get videos. You see this?
Oh yeah. What is he doing?
He's scratching his face, and he's making him so happy he keeps, like, scratching his back paw. I think that's what that weird scraping noise is. Do it again, you bastard.
I found a new thing.
Yeah. Look what I got. Oh, you bastard. Okay, well, that's not going to happen. mini clip there.
Show's over, lady. This is going into your relationship with Caitlin Hill. There was a relationship you had with her where you know, which kind of made you guys like the quintessential, basically like the closest thing to like a power couple, I guess, on YouTube, if you want to put it into Hollywood standards.
That way people are so interested in it. I feel like it's a tabloid kind of thing because a lot of people still comment on videos and they're like, "What's going on with you and Caitlin? What happened?" Is that where we're going with that?
Sort of, yes and no. Like, what can you tell us about, like, I guess, what happened with that relationship? You know, because obviously you guys like broke up and there was kind of like, I don't know, it made for a good YouTube gossip, I guess. You know, kind of like the equivalent of Star Magazine on YouTube, and you know, and also like as far as like if you still keep in contact with her today, like considering your history.
Well, you know, I don't keep in as close contact with her as I'd like because she's following her dream of acting now, and that's really refreshing to see because I was worried that she was going to go new media so much that she lost her passion for acting, and she really is an excellent actress. That was a significant moment in my life, you know, because we were in love. You know, things kind of naturally fell apart because of the distance. Really, it's long distance is difficult. You know, I had moved to Los Angeles, and she found opportunities for her in New York. So I mean, you might as well have stayed in Australia at that point. It was more or less my mindset, where I was like, okay, well, now we still have a country between us, distance-wise. But it was really the only way it could have worked, you know, or the only way that it would have ended. And who knows, you know, things may have been different. Maybe things would have still ended the same way. I'm really not sure. But I really don't have any regrets about our time together, and I feel like our decision between the two of us was for the best.
I remember, like, you know, because I remember there was like a lot of like rumors, and like, you know, it was hard to, like, to really say like what was what, you know, really, just because, you know, people were saying like all sorts of different things, but it seemed like the general consensus as far as rumors go was that it was like some big messy like thing that like blew up and like was like the source of like a downfall or something, you know.
It was a quiet sob sesh, you know. It's one of those. It was a soft break where you're just like, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do this. And it was drama, you know. I mean, not angry drama, but it was some Hallmark Channel type stuff happening that day. You know?
Yeah. It's all for the best, I guess.
Yeah, hope so.
My next one here is what made you come back to doing YouTube videos, you know, after being away for so long?
Boredom.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was. I decided to revisit it because the way I figured it was, if 17-year-old girls in Alabama at my job are going to find out, I might as well make the most of it and get the 22-year-old woman to be interested in me.
Come on, baby! I got the YouTube dose.
I have had 4 women that I was dating find out about my YouTube popularity and freaked the fuck out, and ended up dumping me for that specific reason. One of them called me in tears, bawling her eyes out, because she couldn't deal with the idea that so many people had watched my videos and that I had this relationship with Caitlin and I'm never gonna live up to her and all sorts of stuff. It just like it was like, wow, really? Like you're going there? Sorry, I have a cat now.
It's all right. We got cats everywhere, so.
This is like Reddit crack. It's happened multiple times to where they're like, I can't deal, gotta go. And I'm just like, wait, it's virtual. They're like, these people are, well, kind of everywhere, which is sort of a creepy idea sometimes. Not gonna lie, but yeah, it's funny. That is funny now that I think about it. Maybe I need to stop videos entirely so I can get laid again. I don't know.
The source of getting laid. Stop making YouTube videos.
Yeah, you know, let's face it. That's a biological imperative. You know, see a YouTube, I'm getting some. And plus the creative outlet, you know, aspect of it. You know, I have to express myself, and you know, I can't do that in something other than a discussion or you know, some weird video or animation.
My last question here is, are there any current YouTubers that you personally follow? And also, to follow up with that, what do you think is popular for video content now?
Well, that's by the way, excellent questions in these. Do you do a lot of interviews? Because I mean, you've definitely got the format down very well. I just wanted to say.
Oh, I mean, like I've done like a number of them, like, you know, as far as like written interviews. The video interviews are kind of like new to me still-ish. You know, I've done like, I mean, you're basically like my 5th one, I want to say. So like it's still relatively new to me, but like I've kind of gotten like a bit of a flow going on now with it. But yeah, no, thanks. You know, thanks for the compliment with that.
To be frank with you, I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube anymore, which is obvious for a lot of reasons. But when I do go on there, for a while I really liked My Drunk Kitchen. I haven't seen their newer content. The last thing I saw was it was a trip to, I say it was Portland, and it was very, very overproduced, in my opinion. And but I don't think the content has really been sacrificed for that. It was a very well thought out idea, but being a fan of just raw human weirdness, it's tough for me to get behind. But I do check in on that every now and then. Olin Rogers is the shit. I love that man. He's got some of the best storytelling style that I've seen. He's just hilarious. He's just having so much fun telling you about these weird stories about a bat putting its claw into his fucking floppy toe sock kind of deal in his tent as a kid with a lightsaber. And I'm a big fan of his. If I could meet any YouTuber at this point, I'd probably want to have a beer with that guy. He's a real riot. Freddie Wong. That's what I was thinking of earlier instead of David Wong. It was Freddie Wong. He's got some great stuff. I really look to him to see actually how things are advancing in the After Effects field, because that man is on the bleeding edge, it seems like, and the work he's done is just almighty. It's great, and I shudder to think of what his production costs are, but it is worth every cent. So I look to that for inspiration, and Jenna Marbles every now and then. Same reason as Olin Rogers. She's an excellent producer of interesting content, and I definitely, and she's hot. Let's face it. But any girl that looks as great as she does and cusses as much as she does and has that sort of perspective on the world is a keeper. So if her guy ain't treating her right, she needs to call me. So I hope you get that word out to her. No, I'm just kidding. But she, that's what I really like, and that's why I think, or rather, that's where I'd like to see more content, is with interesting people that have great presentation, that just want to stimulate your mind with funny ideas and just want to get it in there. That's where I find the most entertainment, because it's almost a fake human connection where you're just like, oh man, they see things kind of like I do, but they put it in such a funny way that I wouldn't have thought of. That's what I love. And hopefully I can provide a modicum of that to the people watching my videos.
Any particular opinion on like the Let's Play style videos, like for people like playing video games and like adding commentary, things like that?
Yeah, Let's Play videos are just wonderful, especially when you have multiplayer games like I think it's called The Hidden, which is a Source Engine game involving one person with a knife that has the ability to cloak and climb walls and things like that, and then a team of, I'm assuming, military personnel that's played by the other players. They're just trying to kill that one guy, and it is fucking incredible. There's one. One of the guys has this great impression of Morgan Freeman as that character. And he's talking about like shanking him, and I'm real close now. It's just a very cool thing to see. So when you get a really great crew that knows how to be entertaining and interact with the game and make it worth it, you don't care that you're not playing the game. You're just laughing along with them. And while there's a lot of chaff out there that just is one guy finding things to gripe about, or like just playing through and sort of describing the game, like narrating as he goes, those are kind of dull to me. But the ones that are done with style and with passion, like many things, are really great to interact with and watch. I think that what we need to have is a Let's Play tournament where you get a group of people that are doing the same game, put them on opposing teams, and then let that shit loose. That would be great.
Yeah.
I think that would be worth watching.
Be an interesting idea, at least. Anyway, at least. I mean, I could potentially see it as being like a YouTube sponsored thing or whatever, like when they did like the comedy week sort of thing, like a Let's Play week or something.
No, if you tell YouTube they're gonna put Will.i.am on stage with a fucking controller, and it's not gonna be good. It needs to be by the users for sure. I have no regrets of not going to that YouTube Play or whatever it was that first year.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know if I could have gone if I wanted to, but and I'm not saying that I'm above any of this. I really don't want anyone to get that idea, because a lot of people see me as thinking that. But I'm very selective about what I choose to interact with and put myself into. And, you know, something like that, I was expecting Carson Daly to just be giving out BJs. You know, I don't know. Sorry, Carson.
You're my boy, Blue.
You a boy, Blue? But, you know, I try to veer as much away from that particular, you know, corporate aspect out of personal choices and preferences. And that's really all I mean by that. But I genuinely think if YouTube were to try and do anything like that, they would have to just be the money and not the brain. Like, they would just have to be. And anybody who's worked in the entertainment business knows that the producer is he who has the gold makes the rules. So I don't see that happening. But who knows?